we do the seniors workout on the YouTube, and
I love that.
I can't keep up with a lady that's 75 years old. So
yeah, but she's been doing it for 25 years. You know,
has she?
I don't know. I don't know anything about her. Does she look good?
She looks fine.
Yeah, so she's keeping it tight.
So you can't lift your arms.
I can't lift my arms.
So you're not going to be able to get excited about this movie.
I'll get excited, but I'll just move my shoulders. That's how you know I'm excited. If I give you a little shimmy, you'll know it's a good thing. Hey, watch it with Dan and Tony. Hey, watch it with Dan and Tony. It's like watching, yeah.
Welcome to Hate Watch with Dan and Tony. I'm Dan.
I'm Tony.
We watch movies. I always want to say for a living, and then I realize we make no money on this, so I can't say for a living.
I don't do anything for a living. That's my secret. I have no real jobs.
So each week we pick a movie. One of us picks a movie, and then we molecularly dissect it until there's nothing left. And if it's a comedy, we grind into each joke and try to solve that joke and bring it back from the dead.
Which will be easy this week because there are no jokes.
No jokes in this movie. The movie this week was a movie I picked, which I'd watched 20 minutes of and then stopped because it was so horrible. And I was like, I want to kill myself.
Let's do it for the podcast.
What better thing to do to ruin your own life than to make both of us watch it?
Watch it one more time.
So we watched The Bubble, Judd Apatow's COVID movie where they went off and made a movie about how hard it is for actors and how hard it is to get laughs. Is that what this movie's
about? Dan, I need to know, I don't know what we're satirizing. I do not know. I don't understand what they're trying to make a joke of. I don't get it.
What's the comment?
What is the comment? I have no idea.
I mean, there is no comment in this movie. I mean, what could the comment have been? What do you mean there has to be? Why do you say that?
Otherwise, there's no point to this movie. There's no reason to make this movie unless you're trying to say something with it, because otherwise it's even worse than it was before. If they just mess up their message, I can be like, oh, well, you should have done this, and then you fix your message. If there's no message, there's literally no reason for them to make this movie at all.
Well, I will say this, Don't Look Up, a movie I hated.
We did not enjoy that movie.
I can't say I hate this movie because this movie is just stupid.
I do hate this movie. Well, it doesn't make me as angry as Don't Look Up.
Yeah.
But I dislike it more as a movie.
I dislike the filmmakers more in this movie than Don't Look Up, because at least the Don't Look Up people, they're trying to do something.
That's what I'm saying. They're trying to do something. Otherwise, don't make the fucking movie. Judd, don't make this movie. Go back in time and fix it.
This is your whole classic thing is, what do you do if you have all this free time, right? You make a movie about having all this free time, basically, is what this movie is. And it just shows that whatever skills are involved in this are completely bankrupt of entertainment.
You know what happened, Dan? Yeah. Judd Apatow, home in the pandemic. He's like, man, I got to do something. But instead of doing something at the beginning of the pandemic, he's like, I'm going to wait till we're almost done with the pandemic, and then I'm going to make something about the beginning of the pandemic because that's somehow fucking clever. No, it is not, sir. You're an idiot. But second of all, mid-pandemic, I think Judd Apatow saw the much better, wonderful film Tropic Thunder and was like, I should remake Tropic Thunder, but make it suck. That's what he did.
This is the movie you watched and you immediately think of Tropic Thunder. I mean, not that they necessarily have, I guess they sort of have the same, they are sort of the same plot, aren't they?
They are very similar plots and the exact same ending joke. The documentary is literally that's what Tropic Thunder ends with, them winning an award for the documentary of making the movie. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? You can't do that. You're already too similar to that movie. You have to be distinct. And instead they're like, we're just going to end it the exact same way. Does anybody know how to end the movie? No? Well, let's just use Tropic Thunder's ending and then make it worse, because instead of it being like a 30-second button, it's an 8-minute talk about oh God, I hate this movie, Dan. It's so bad. This movie's terrible. Don't see it, guys. Don't support it.
I was going to save this to saying later, but This movie, less funny than The Love Guru.
Yes, because again, at least Mike is trying to make jokes. They're not good jokes, other than the farting in the cup, which is a great joke, and has legs.
Wait, what?
Remember The Love Guru? He's like makes the farting noise at the bar.
No, I was funny. That was the most unfunny thing ever. I was funny.
But he's trying. But he can
I see what
be
you're
funny.
saying.
That's what I'm saying. It can be funny. He didn't land the jokes, but at least they're trying jokes and missing. There's no jokes in this movie.
Mariska Hargitay. It's a joke. It is a joke.
It's a joke. And I missed that movie just after yesterday. Oof.
So yes, The Bubble, Netflix 2022, coming in at a bloated 2 hours and 6 minutes with about 10 minutes of credits.
God, you cannot make this movie over 2 hours, guys. There's maybe 45 minutes of a movie, and not a good one.
So we have this action franchise called Cliff Beasts, which is just dinosaurs appear and attack.
First, I mean, this is great because this... I have so much. We need to talk about Cliff Beasts first and foremost because they're saying the sixth one is getting $100 million as the budget.
That seems low, doesn't it? No,
I mean, it seems middle of the road, right? It's not like your massive blockbuster, but it's not an indie film.
Moonfall was 140.
Okay, let's not talk about Moonfall as if like that's something we should be.
Well, it's the only number I remember. So
that's fair. But it's the sixth one in a franchise, right?
Yeah.
But it's still getting $100 million. That's a lot for a number 6. So that means that it's at least doing okay, I imagine.
Sure.
But the movie that they're making is so bad. Why is that movie so bad? Why is the movie within the movie so bad? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Because Judd Apatow can't direct any kind of movie or can't create any kind of movie, right? Isn't that the point?
Okay, maybe that's the point. I have an issue with it being so bad because they're playing it as the movie within the movie is a joke in itself. Mm-hmm. But if that's the case, we wouldn't be giving it $100 million. Like a movie with Leslie Mann doing an awful Southern accent like that is not going to get $100 million for the budget. It's just not. It's not. That is like sci-fi level bullshit. Sci-fi channel bullshit. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So that's like 10, 15 million tops.
Well, okay. Let's. I was watching this movie. And we got to the hour and 6 minutes, hour and 19 minutes.
Wonderful halfway point. Yep.
And we had all the sort of secondary characters, the non-actor characters were sitting there, and they said, "What? We should basically impede the film so that they'll be stuck here forever."
Which did they ever do that, Dan?
No, of course not. But I mean, in the middle of your movie, you've written an actual plot. Because there's no plot in this movie. The plot is we're making a movie.
Yep.
Right?
There are a couple of places where they're like, they introduce something that could be a plot, and then they're like, nah. Instead, let's not do that.
And so there's instincts to understand what a plot could be. They don't. There was an old movie with Dick Van Dyke where he played like the head servant in this mansion.
Okay.
And, it was all about they ran all these scams while working in the whatever.
Sure.
And it was like there's a plot and very, very straightforward. That's a plot. And there's other plots you could have been. You could have taken Karen Gillan's character and made the movie about her.
Which I thought for sure they were going to do. And they just never delivered on it.
No,
it's so weird.
They sort of dance around her being the primary character. And it could have been about her. It could have been about she didn't do the fifth one, so she comes in here and is being punished by everyone, and then she works her way back in, and then it falls apart again, and then she brings it back together and saves the day, and they complete the movie.
Love that. I mean, I don't love it, but I like it.
Yeah, there's many ideas for a plot. Yeah. There's no plot to this movie.
Absolutely zero.
So we set up this UK producer and then these two guys that are the handlers. So they kind of hire some British comedian people, not the best of the best British comedian people, just some sort of secondary British comedian people.
For who?
Like the skinny white guy, and then
the COVID.
Yeah.
So those two guys are what we call CCOs. They're the COVID compliance officers on set.
Yeah.
And the skinny white guy is my favorite part of the movie.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he's great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like, he's fine. He has a couple of jokes that I laughed at. And
Sure.
so he's my favorite part of the movie because I only laughed 3 times in the whole movie. 2 of them were him.
Yeah, he's fine, and he's like a medium level British comedian. I don't know who he is.
Sure.
I kind of, the other guy, the masseuse guy. I've seen him before, but
I've seen him too. Yeah,
we watch an infinite amount of British TV.
Sure.
And the one guy they had on here who is a total British TV good comedian is Gus Khan.
Which guy's that?
Archery guy that then leaves at a certain point.
Yep, I kind of felt that. Yeah,
Gus is super funny. He has his own. No, not in this movie. No. I'm talking about the real people. He has his own crazy TV show in England, and it's nuts, and he wears these big coats, and he's hilarious. And you can see it. He's one of the few where it oozes out of his pores a little bit.
Yep. And you're like, oh, in the right situation, he would probably be funny. Not the right situation. It's not even a situation. That's the problem. It's just like, hey, roll cameras and do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care.
So we set up that they're going to make this movie. They're in a bubble in England. Karen Gillan's agent makes her go there. She's had skipped 5, and now she's got to go do 6. So that's sort of a bit of conflict that is never really dealt with. But then
they also kind of give her the boyfriend thing where she's like, my boyfriend will die if I leave him.
Oh,
and then luckily we hit that a couple of times, and it pays off. Wow, so good.
Yeah, basically her boyfriend who lives off of her, when she leaves, gets a new girlfriend and then still lives in her house, and who cares?
Yep.
She doesn't care.
She does not. No one cares about anything in this movie, I would posit.
Nope.
There are no real emotions. There's nothing. There's no thread for us to jump onto, and it's great. It's really fun, you guys.
So Gus Khan does some cursing, which was funny right at the beginning, which I thought was funny. He must have done something.
And then is this where he hugs Karen Gillan? What's her name? Gillan?
Karen Gillan, yeah.
Gillan?
Oh, yeah, he hugs her and they drag him off. And he curses.
I wanted that to be bigger.
Oh,
because I did, and I mean, listen, it's fine. At the time, I still thought this was going to be like a mediocre movie, and so I was like, "Oh, that should have been played up a little bit bigger," because they're breaking the only rule of COVID is no touching.
Yeah.
But it turns out they break all sorts of rules because nobody in this entire fucking movie wears a mask.
Well, once they're in the bubble, you don't have to wear a mask.
Incorrect, Dan. That is incorrect. You have to wear the bubble at all times. Nope, excuse me. Mask, not bubble.
Wear the bubble.
You wear the mask at all times except for the people on camera. That's it. Everyone else wears a mask because it's still out there, you guys. And in the hotel when they're just wandering around. Oh, my God, dude. Woo!
So Karen Gillan's quarantined. She watches movies. She works out. She eats food and makes it smell bad in there. And they set up that joke that it smells bad in there. They never bring that joke back.
Nope. All right.
Yeah. So then we have a cocktail party where we get to meet all of the characters. And this is where we're going to talk about who is the worst and how they are the worst. Okay? First, we have Judd Apatow's wife is David Duchovny's wife in this movie.
Well, ex. Are they officially ex? I couldn't remember. I couldn't tell if they were officially or if they're just split, but
don't care.
Okay. I mean, because they have an adopted 17-year-old son. So I guess they're probably still married, just separated. That's my guess.
Sure, whatever. She's as her character, she's terrible, and then in the movie when she's acting, she's even a worse actress.
So she is definitely the worst one in the fake movie.
She's the worst one in the fake movie.
100% she's the worst one in the fake movie. I'll tell you. Okay. She is not my least favorite in the real movie because she has that wonderful skating montage later. And I was like, whoa, what a cool skill that she has that I did not know.
I thought that you were going to like that because we're going to talk about the skating thing later.
Okay.
It's one of those really interesting things.
Okay, great.
Then we have the daughter who's like a TikTok star.
And her name is Iris? Is that her real name?
Okay,
got it. Okay.
Daughter.
I wasn't sure how far we're going into this, Dan. I don't know how deep we're getting.
Wife, daughter, David Duchovny. They don't. Their characters have no names because they're not characters. They're just
you're right about that. Yeah.
These really thin things. You know, it's like a layer of frosting put on top of the actual actor. So they're always apparent exactly who they are.
Yes. Yeah.
Talk to me about the daughter.
Okay. I don't... Oh, boy. So she is somehow one of my favorite parts of the movie within the movie. So she's, I think, third on my list of movie within the movie. In the actual movie, I don't understand what she's doing here. So I thought maybe they were going to make a comment on the TikTok generation becoming actors where they're like, oh, I didn't audition for this movie. They just gave it to me because I have a bunch of followers. But then we never have an opinion on that. The movie never tells me what they feel about that. They're just like, it is what it is, which is wrong. I mean, that's the wrong way to do it. It's not. So she's not a joke. She's not a point. I don't know what she's doing in the movie. She does a couple of dances, which I was kind of like, oh, you know what? I would actually buy her as a TikTok star because the dances are fun. I like them. The character is nothing. There's nothing. She's nothing in this movie. She doesn't do anything. She doesn't have opinions. I don't know, man. There's nothing there. I don't know why she's in the movie.
She's in the movie because she's Judd Apatow's daughter, and he didn't want to... See, that's the whole thing. The whole thing with comedy is... We're going to go back. We're going to talk about... Years ago, I was in some improv class, and we were doing an improv, and I played this character who had his wife chipped so he could follow his wife wherever they were. And I played literally the most horrible person I could think of. And
that sounds about right. Yep.
Every time I could pitch in and make this guy more horrible and whatever, I did that. Because that's what comedy is. If you can't write yourself as an asshole or a jerk, or your children as assholes or a jerk, or your wife as an asshole or a jerk, or Keegan Michael Key as an asshole or a jerk, like nothing's gonna be funny.
Yes, that is correct.
There's no contrast. There's just like, we're just actors, and forgive us for being obscene, just sort of useless.
Yeah. So I don't like. She has to be something. There has to be a reason for her to be it. Like her being a TikTok star. What does that mean? Is she entitled then because she hasn't had to go through the things that other actors have had to gone through? Whether that's, I'm not saying that's my opinion. I'm just saying that's an opinion out there. So is she spoiled? Is she kind of like, how does she feel about being in this position with a bunch of older people that don't connect to her because they're all old? Why don't we explore anything? Why does she have no jokes in the movie when there's such a rich like ground to play in that hasn't really been done yet? We haven't really done the whole, oh, it's a TikTok star shot to fame for no reason. Let's talk about that. We haven't. I don't know.
People are just jealous of her. That's about it. Slight jealousy of her.
How does she feel about that? I don't know. I hate this movie.
Very good. And then there's this other random girl who just comes in there and we don't understand who she is. And then like in the last 10 minutes, they explain who she is and it's stupid.
I still don't understand who she is. They say, oh, you're the mole. For who? For what? The mole of what?
She was put in there to be the TikTok girl's best friend and to to shepherd her through this, even though that's not what she does.
Doesn't. Right. She just doesn't do that at all.
She's this weird freak girl that doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any so if again it goes back to like the TikTok story. If she needs someone to shepherd her through because she's never been on a film set before, great, let me see that. Even if she leads her astray, great, let me see this. She does nothing. So then when she's like, I'm the mole, I was like, for what? For who? You didn't do anything.
And that's the whole, if you watch the old Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, they're like on this ship and the dude is there to watch the blonde girl to make sure she doesn't get in trouble. Then he falls in love with her best friend. And then they find out he's the mole. And then comedy ensues. So if this
unbelievable
girl is the mole, we have to know she's the mole and she has to do something mole-like. Yep. And then we have to have their friendship fall apart so that it can come back together.
Wow.
I've written a mole.
Dan. Unbelievable.
I've looked at classic movies that they've made for 1,000 fucking years, or stories, and figured out an equation for making a character. You know what Judd Apatow did not do? He did not do that.
He didn't do anything. I'm sorry. This guy didn't do shit.
Now we're going to come to your guy, number one, the only person who could make David Duchovny look like a good actor, Pedro Pascal.
First of all, I don't like Pedro Pascal that much, other than when he's Oberyn in Game of Thrones. He was fucking great there. Yeah, what's going on? What's going on with this? His bit is that he wants to have sex.
I don't know.
That's his bit. But we don't really do it much. Like, he doesn't hit. I don't understand what his deal is.
There's a point at which, when they do like the weird drug scene, that he's like, I'm an actor, I have an Oscar to prove it. And it's so sad. It's so sad.
Because you think it's just Pedro talking?
It is, because he's terrible. He's the worst actor in this whole movie.
He is absolutely the worst. 100%.
Worse actor than Judd Apatow's daughter, who's not an actress.
She's not that bad. She's middle of the road. You know, good for her. Other than the fact that her character is a waste.
She's terrible.
What? Okay. In this movie, Dan, we're talking about the very finite space of this movie.
Yeah.
She's not that bad. There are people who should not be worse than her that are way worse than her.
Then we have Gus Khan, we kind of talked about. Gus sort of does, sort of tries a little bit and hangs out and gets his Hollywood money, and he's happy about it.
Yep.
Keegan Michael Key, one of the funniest people on the planet. I've seen him be on stage with some of the funniest people on the planet, and he destroys you some of the greatest sketches ever created by humankind. Keegan Michael Key. Holy crap.
Awful. How? I'm watching it happen, and I do not understand how it's happening. He is one of the most charismatic, funny guys in Hollywood. He's amazing. I adore him. I love him. He sucks in this movie. What a tragedy.
Well, I guess my thing is it just that he's not funny and he doesn't get to play a character and nothing goes on? I mean, he's not, what he does is fine.
But
he doesn't do it badly, but there's nothing there.
But it's nothing. And the problem is that you want more. You expect, you expect more from him. Whether or not he's given anything to do, which he is not, of course. He's not giving a character to play. Like, his character is so weak. He's the guy that, like, starts a religion or whatever, which is my one other laugh other than the skinny blonde dude is when what does he say? When they first talk about it, he does this really weird laugh and he's like, it's not a religion. Like, and it was just, to me, it was funny. And then never again.
Tony, you've written a character who has a religion. What should he be doing?
Probably practicing or trying to get you to convert constantly, or just talking about it, or doing things that would involve, like, anything with it, really. However, Dan,
yes,
he is the best part of the movie within a movie.
Yeah, he's the only one who actually could have been in the movie.
He's the only one that's actually playing it as if he's acting in a fucking movie.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is shocking. But, it is what it is.
If you have a guy who's made a religion, he has to be constantly spouting the religious stuff, saying things that are bonkers. The only thing he does is at the end, he does it and fails and then admits that somebody's ghostwriter wrote the book and he never even read it and it's garbage.
Yeah. Which, that joke can only work if he's hitting it 3 times as hard throughout the movie.
Uh-huh.
Not only does he have to pitch it as if it's real, but he has to overpitch it because he's overcompensating. That's just what we do. And that is nowhere to be found. So when the turn happens and he's like, oh, it's all made up. It's like, yeah, okay. I didn't actually think you were doing it in the beginning. So, yep, makes perfect sense. Thanks, guys.
Now we're at David Duchovny, the husband of Judd Apatow's wife, who also wants to rewrite the script, who also is maybe the thinnest of all the actors.
Well, yeah, he's got nothing. But also he's giving nothing. So This has to have just been a paycheck, right? Or maybe he's just bored in quarantine and he's like, I'd like to be on set, please, because I'm not doing anything. He is not trying.
Not trying. That's the
He's
point.
not trying.
He tries the least of everyone.
100%. It's which in itself to me is kind of funny because it's just David Duchovny is just like, I don't fucking care about any of this. Why are we here? What are we doing? I like that. So he's not my least favorite person in the movie, only because there's a lack of anything.
And I think that's the thing. It's like they should have given him the bathrobe and not Pedro Pascal.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And they should have given Pedro Pascal the writing thing where he's like trying to prove something. Because he was trying to prove something.
Yeah, and he didn't prove it.
He did not prove it. It's so sad. You keep flashing back to him in Wonder Woman 1984, and you're just like, oh, Pedro.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh,
yeah. But yeah, Duchovny doesn't give a shit. He don't want to be there.
And then there's the girl from Borat who plays like the guy that Pedro's in love with.
That's who she is. Thank you.
She's so funny.
Yes. She's a very funny person. She's
hilarious in the Borat movie. And it just, you see little sparkles out of her that you're like, give this girl a scene. Give her a write or something. God, what are you doing?
Yeah, I could not place where I knew her from, but that's good. She's very funny.
We always remember watching Beverly Hills Cop for the first time, and they have Bronson Pinchot come in there, right? Bronson Pinchot has, what does he have? 5 minutes? 4 minutes?
Dude.
2 minutes?
I don't know. It feels like a longer scene, but I feel like if we went back, it's probably pretty quick. Achuel? Fuck, dude. He's so good in that.
You know, and I mean, you hire these people to do that, to like go off for 3 minutes, and that's the gold.
You have to give them that space. And he doesn't. Judd does not.
You got TJ Miller in the Deadpool movie where he's, does like 15 minutes on what Deadpool looks like. And you're just like, that's comedy. That's how you make a comedy.
Thank you for coming today. Have a good day.
You get hilarious people, then you open the floor to them and they go off.
Not in this movie.
Fred Armisen.
So Fred, here's my problem, I think, with Fred.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a character.
Nope.
But his motivations constantly shift.
Yes.
In this movie.
Yes.
So like not only does he not have a character, but like it's a moving target the whole time.
Yep.
And I can't follow it.
There it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
He has my favorite joke in the movie by
what? Oh shit! What is
margin. It's at the end.
All right. We'll get there in about an hour and 20 minutes.
So we do a montage of them getting ready for the film. One person gets attacked by a dog. Another person has to catch a falcon. Another person is doing a fight. And then Gus Khan is doing some archery. Okay, whatever.
Oh, no, not okay. This is the most egregious moment of the film to me, Dan.
This is the most egregious moment of the film.
Yes, sir. What's the archer's name? What's his name?
Gus.
Kyle Kuzma?
Gus Khan. G-U-Z. Gus.
Gus. Okay. So he's a bigger guy, and so the joke that they go with is this fit guy showing him how to do the stunt, does a somersault and then shoots an arrow.
Yeah.
And Goose's joke is that he goes up to the mat and just falls on it and then just kind of rolls over. No, we need more than that. It's 2022. That level of fat joke, not funny anymore. That wasn't funny pre-Chris Farley. Chris Farley would have fucking crushed that scene and you would be rolling on the floor with tears. You need to step it up. You can't, it's just not okay to do like a lazy fat joke. You need to step it up. That's just me as a fat guy saying it.
Well, more importantly, would you take the camera, put it on a drone, and fly it 100 yards away from the scene to shoot it?
Yeah, you don't want to see a whole lot. You know what I mean? You want them to be specks on the lawn. That's how you really convey comedy.
So the next scene we have is the TikTok scene. So we go to TikTok format, and we have this, 2-minute segment where it's
too long.
I'm going to disagree.
Sorry, continue.
I'm going to disagree.
Oh, okay, great.
And it's to like some real hip-hop-y pop song that we have now.
Yeah.
And it is Everybody's in it. Everybody's perfectly choreographed. It's freaking beautiful. It uses the whole house. It uses the entire cast. Everybody's into it and everybody's perfect. And this is when I hated the movie more than anything, because what it showed was all these people are incredibly competent and incredibly good at something and can succeed at things, which is what actors do.
Yeah.
You bring in actors and they do these amazing, they do magic in front of us, and they become these other things, and we believe it. And you could see this little TikTok was magic perfection in this little box. And then we go back to this stupid movie. And if you're going to do the TikTok, you have to see the characters being the characters, right?
Yes. So okay, what you just hit on is my problem with it. Is because those actors then go on to shoot the movie within the movie, and none of them can fucking walk and chew bubblegum. It is a disgrace. But then, when did they practice this? When did this group of people get together, learn a dance? Why don't we see that or something then? Maybe make some jokes out of that, them trying to learn a dance and they can't do it. I don't know. But they nail this, all of them working in unison, doing this great dance. It's very fun. And then the next thing we see is them trying to shoot some shitty dinosaur movie nobody can act off. It's fucking ridiculous.
The TikTok should be the finale.
Yeah.
It should be the thing. It's, it's like, let's go back to Stripes, right? What do they do in Stripes? If we don't learn this thing, maneuvers, and do the thing in graduation, even though it's actually the finale of Stripes, even though we have a whole third act that makes no sense, whatever, go to Germany. But when you do that whole dance, Napoleon Dynamite, the dance, the team comes together to do a thing, and that is the point at which they become a team.
But they do that, Dan. Remember, they do a dance with the dinosaur in the movie within a movie. And then they all talk about how bad it is that they're doing that in the movie, and it doesn't make any sense.
Do you want to talk about your girl Kate McKinnon?
I would, and just briefly, because if you've ever listened to this podcast, I love her. I love her. I think she's very funny. I think she's great.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on in this movie? I don't understand. She's not funny at all. She has a couple of what I assume are meant to be jokes. Like when she says Mel Gibson is here and we hooked up, we did over the pants stuff. I don't know. Why isn't that funny? I feel like that could be funny, but it's not funny. And I can't pinpoint exactly why, but nothing she does is funny other than I like the fact that she's on vacation and all of these like execs are on vacation in their lockdown. Sure. I love that. And we hit that once. We hit it like once for real, where like it's a lineup where we go one to the next as they each call each other. And then the third one, they're like, "Are you in Fiji? I'm right down the beach." We need to hit that joke harder because I like the idea of the world being in lockdown, but rich people are out, living their best selves.
Well, we don't
really deal with it.
But more importantly, we don't make a comment on that.
Exactly.
We don't say you people are garbage, which is the joke. The joke is
it should be.
Those people are. See, that's the whole thing. Is in this whole movie, nobody wants to hold any of these people accountable for being the garbage that they are.
That's what I'm saying when I say I don't know what we're satirizing, and I believe that we need to be. We need to be making comments on these things, or at least tell me your opinion. If you think it's cool, hey, Judd Apatow, if you went on vacation and you think it's cool, tell me you think it's cool then. I don't give a fuck if I don't agree with your point of view. Give me a point of view anywhere on this movie, and you don't.
Tropic Thunder.
Great. Yep.
What's his name? Tom Cruise, a guy that I do not care for.
God. Which we disagree on, but
we disagree on. So funny, just like
so fucking good in that movie.
So freakish. He plays. You know what he plays? A monster.
Yes, right? And it's so great. It's so great. Oh, I love it so much.
Kate McKinnon should be having her nails done, and she should be like, telling. It should be her telling him what the producer what a piece of garbage he is.
Yeah, great. Great.
We could write any decent comedy writer could rewrite those scenes so that they'd be hilarious because it would be on her.
And
But
the
no.
thing is, there are so many, like we get to these places where there are things to make fun of, and we don't make fun of them.
Mm-mm.
And that's a problem. Don't put them
Mm-mm.
in the movie then,
Mm-mm.
probably. I just want to, now that we're on Tropic Thunder, I just want to, the greatest moment for me in cinema history is when he yells at the Flaming Dragon guy. And he's like, all right, Flaming Dragon, fuck face. Take a step back, literally, fuck your own face. And he hangs up on him. And he turns to his assistant and he goes, would you find out who that was? The turn between those two, like, very different emotions. He's so good in that movie, Dan. Tom Cruise for president. Actually, no. Never. I take that back. That would actually be a disaster.
And like you said at the beginning, they set up the whole thing where she was in the bad movie Jerusalem Rising, and it's like,
and that disappears.
Well, they do one other joke on it, I think. It's like after Tropic Thunder and after what's the movie called? The full retard movie, Simple Jack.
Simple Jack. Yeah.
Good God! I mean, you have to go times 10. You have to figure out a times 10.
That's what I'm saying, and I think they're more similar than you even realize on the surface until you think about them more.
They are exactly the same.
They're like, oh, I did this bad movie. They do one clip of the movie. At the beginning of Tropic Thunder, we have trailers for several terrible movies, and it's fucking great.
It's hilarious.
And then when we see these people, we're like, I know this actor. I know who you are already, and I don't need that movie's so much better than this movie.
So good.
Oh boy.
And Jack Black character in there is like a drug addict, hiding his drugs, being a knight. It's Danny McBride. Oh my God.
And my thing, Dan, is they are actually trying to make a good movie. I would argue. I mean, there's that scene where Ben Stiller's crying or trying to cry. He can't cry. He's holding his fucking hands, stub of hands. And you've got RDJ just in full tears over him. It's so good. Like, they're trying to make a movie. They are not trying to make a movie in this movie. Cliff Peace is not a movie.
Because they're not even parodying a thing. They're not even parodying the things that they want to. Because they don't even start with. They start with them immediately, like in the jungle or whatever, the weird forest thing. They don't even set it up. We don't
take them off the fucking grid. I'm gonna watch that movie as soon as we're done now. Damn it, Dan.
Okay, so we have a whole scene where we start shooting the movie. It's not funny. Correct. And that night we go back and we do a song. At
the piano or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't even understand what we're doing there.
But they shut down and have to go back into quarantine or something.
Yep. Yeah. The main Brit guy. What's his name?
The producer?
I got nothing. I can't find him. Oh, Peter Serafinowicz.
Oh, is that Peter Serafinowicz? Okay.
Oh, great. You know that guy. He goes back and he's like, hey, we're heading back into lockdown because someone got sick.
Got it. So they do more testing and then another montage of quarantine. And then we do the mom out there, not in quarantine, doing roller boogie on the patio.
Yeah.
How is she out on the patio doing roller boogie?
Dan, no one's really in lockdown. That's one of the things that's a problem is everyone, Karen Gillan is just wandering around the hotel, not allowed. You're stuck in your room. That's what quarantine is, guys. They bring you stuff. You're in your room. That's it. I don't know.
And so we're still in quarantine, and then the two girls are together, though. The TikTok girl and the mole.
Yep. Which is, again, not allowed.
Now, is Keegan's in a helicopter. Is this where he learned to fly the helicopter?
I mean, it's quite possible, yeah.
When I don't even remember that. Don't remember.
He goes up and down. Yeah, they show him how to go up and down.
And then Karen goes to another floor of the hotel and finds a soccer guy who she doesn't have sex with.
Not yet.
Then we have some yoga meditation. Grabs.
Hold on. We need to talk about the yoga meditation scene real quick because I need you to tell me why it's in this movie. So the actors are meditating.
Yeah, I don't remember this scene at all, but maybe I'll remember when you say. Oh
shit!
I think I was probably playing solitaire while this scene was on.
Well, let me set the scene for you, Dan. It's the actors.
Sure.
They're doing yoga, and the guy who's leading it is one of the CCO guys, one of the COVID guys, not the skinny guy.
Yeah, the other guy.
I wish I remembered his name. Bola. I have the cast list on my left.
Ooh,
Bola is his name in the movie.
Yep.
And he's leading it, and all he's doing is he starts talking about like actor insecurities and like basically pointing out reasons they should feel bad about themselves.
Sure.
And then your guy Goose like freaks out and he's like, I can't do this anymore, man. I can't do it. I gotta go, or something like that. What's happening? I don't understand either. I don't know.
Well, because they're setting up a bit where each actor is going to leave, and so at a certain point, it's just going to be Karen Gillan as the only actor on the movie. They didn't do that joke. They didn't follow that.
No,
bit.
No, they did not follow that,
not.
Dan. They did not.
Day one, security. Okay, they bring in the security guys and they put lasers up, but they only put them up in the front of the building. So if you go at the back of the building, you can just walk away.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah. But apparently that's not the way to London. Is that what I was understanding from the Goose joke? Is that you have to go out the front to get to London and the back is somewhere different?
I don't. That could be.
I don't know. There's a point when Goose is walking off and he's like, I'm going back to London. And then we cut to them and it's like, well, London's the other direction. So as if that's a joke. I don't know.
Okay.
I forget it.
That's where the road is. So he's gonna, it's like, good joke. What does that mean? There's no road the other direction. Maybe he'll go out to the road and then he'll go back towards London. Probably find some way to get to London.
No, he can only walk in a straight line.
So then we do some more movie, and then we have Goose's character get killed, and then his head falls down, and there's like this disgusting corpse, or this he doesn't get torn. That's Pedro that gets torn up or someone.
No, they do because he gets cut and then he falls and his eyeball is like hanging out.
I laughed at the corpse. I thought it was very funny.
Yeah, they did a good job. They have a lot of money for this movie.
Then we set up that those two stupid girls go to London. And then we don't hear about that until like an hour later.
Oh, right. Yep. That's right. Yep.
Okay, this has got to be a scene that you really loved. Pascal's character falls in love with the woman in the mirror workout thing and then has sex with her.
Yeah, I was with it for a while.
You were?
I'll tell you. Well, let me explain. One, Daisy Ridley. Whoa. Smoking hot. Big fan. So, like, his whole thing is he's very horny, right? And then he sees an attractive woman who's, like, doing bendy poses. And he's like, this is as close as I can get to human contact. I'm with it up until the point that she comes out of the screen. And then it's not funny anymore because it's just not. And then they, like, cut to a mirror shot where he's, like, on the bed humping nothing. Is that what's happening?
I was playing solitaire during this.
Dan, you gotta stop playing solitaire because you gotta explain these movies to me sometimes. Because so she like comes half out of the screen and she's like, I'm not in there kissing, right? And then it cuts to a shot of the mirror, and in the back of the mirror you see his butt in the air humping something, but I assume it's nothing. I know
in the little picture the two of them are having sex. In the little mirror
picture. It's the picture? Okay.
But like the little
yeah, where she was, I guess.
Okay. I remember seeing that. But I was playing solitaire.
The fact that it doesn't end with him stark naked, beaten off, I think is a mistake. That's all I'm going to say.
Not that we want to see that.
It's not that I want to. I do want to see it because that's the way to cap that joke. If you're going to lead a guy in his room having sex with nothing, it has to end with like maybe they're making out or whatever, and then it just cuts in being like, I don't know.
You have to have somebody open the door, and then the mirror's like doing a workout thing, and he's doing that, and you're just like, oh my god.
There you go.
And that would have been a good point if she came in on that, and then the woman he's supposedly in love with, and then that causes conflict.
Great.
Well,
stop bringing up conflict, Dan. All right.
So now we have a scene where they're climbing up a mountain, and then they all are sick because they all have the flu, and then they all start throwing up. Yeah,
it's really gross. When Leslie Mann gets thrown up on her face, I almost threw up. I'm not good at seeing throw up, and it was too real.
I got sexually aroused.
No, I didn't. You're sick, man. You are sick.
It was stupid.
Yeah, well,
let's see. So day 94, Karen's lines get cut because she did something. complained about something.
Well, she's the one that keeps complaining that they're treating them unfairly or something, which is it's a running thing through this movie. And then at one point, someone's like, "Oh, no one cares about your stupid actor problems on your big movie. You know, you're getting paid million, whatever." That's a very real thing that the world went through, and we don't explore that nearly enough.
No,
like it's ridiculous because it's true. You're getting paid tens, millions of dollars to go stay in a room for 2 weeks and then shoot a movie. Fuck you. Stop being a baby.
They're constantly crying for no reason.
Right.
About a thing you wouldn't cry about. If they had stakes and they cared about something, if she really cared about this boyfriend, then she'd have to be fighting to escape go to this boyfriend. But instead,
if she cared about something,
they get their minor feelings hurt and then something happens.
And Duchovny should genuinely care about the movie. He never does, other than he wants his version of the script because he's the protector of the franchise, but he doesn't give a shit about all the other stuff that's happening that's wrong.
Nope.
Like, he should be the guy that's trying to stop people from leaving then and being like, hey, we need to finish this movie. This is our legacy, blah, blah, blah. It's nothing.
Nope.
I hate it.
So we do the dino dance TikTok, and then Karen Gillan urinates all over herself.
Right. Yeah, I forgot that happened until you just said it.
It's really weird. It's one of the weirdest things in any movie I've ever seen, to have a character urinate all over themselves.
Right. And then we don't really, what is the joke?
I don't know. We should have videotaped that and put that on the internet.
There you go.
That would have been something you could deal with.
Millions of views. Great. I love it.
Karen goes home, ? No, she doesn't. Duchovny's wife burns his script, burns the cloud, burns his laptop.
And why?
Because nothing happened to make her angry about it.
Yeah, I don't what is she?
And so, I don't know. So they call the kid, who's their adopted kid, who we learn in the conversation that he murdered a cat, because that's always the funny thing to go to when you're not funny person.
It's not funny at all, Dan.
He murdered a cat. Murdered a cat.
How do you think the cat ended up dead? Well, really? That's what we're going to go with? You
murdered a cat.
Idiots.
And then she's like, I'm leaving. And so to leave, she puts on her roller skates and then roller skates right through the security field. And then they shoot at her and there's this puff of red. And you're like, oh, they're trying to stop her. And then no, we learned that they've literally blown her hand off.
Yep,
just leaving her thumb.
Yep.
And it is the shittiest looking appliance I've ever seen in a movie.
All right.
Except the later appliance, which is not as bad as this, but it's pretty shitty.
Sure.
And then she gets taken to a hospital, and they keep making a movie.
Right. So here's the thing. Nobody cares that her hand got shot off. Not
even her.
She doesn't care. She's just like, you shot my hand off. This is she makes a joke about it, or quote unquote. This is my sewing hand. That's not what she said. She said something else, but and then she's just like waving it at David Duchovny and he doesn't care. And then the executives don't care. Like the guy that's in charge doesn't care. I don't understand, man. How could nobody care? They just shot, ostensibly, she's probably worth what? Couple mil? I would say.
Sure.
She's probably getting a couple mil for this movie. Lots in the future as well. She's a movie star, at least a B-list. I don't know. Supposedly. You shot her hand off.
You mutilated her.
Nobody cared. There's no investigation into this.
The dude in charge of security and all this still working there after this.
Right. It's so dumb and it's handled so poorly. Fuck you, Judd Apatow. Stop making movies.
And there's no reason for it.
No, not at all. Other than they think it's a joke. They think it's very funny.
So now we're doing stunts, and John Cena is supposedly the stunt coordinator, even though he's never been shown in the film before.
Which is weird because we did a whole stunt montage earlier with other people. Where's he been? I don't know.
And he does a whole thing where he's on a post on a thing, and then he can't speak because of bad internet connection, and then things happen.
Which is such an edgy and new joke. I love it so much, Dan. I mean, the boundaries that we're pushing in this movie are unreal. That's what we're going. We're going with a fucking Zoom joke. Come on, guys.
Then we have a whole weird pool scene with Karen and Fred.
Wait, hold on. You're done with that scene? I'm not done with that scene.
Okay,
I'm
going,
sorry.
Tony.
So we do the stunt, and it goes very poorly. Obviously, John Cena gets to make one joke where he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was busy." How did it go? Would have been funny if the scene was good. But then the daughter, the blonde lady, is his daughter, right?
Yeah, supposedly.
She goes, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, my dad sucks at stunts."
Oh, does she say that?
That's what she fucking says in this movie, where he's the stunt coordinator of $100 million feature film. She says, "Oh yeah, my dad sucks at stunts." What the fuck are you talking about?
Is he not there? I don't know. So there's a pool scene with Karen and Fred where Fred kind of is weird towards her for a second.
Definitely is like borderline harassment, if not full on harassment. And then we don't deal with it, and then they just go swimming together.
Yep. And then the next one, Fred yells at Pascal and speaks truth about his bad. Oh, Fred talks about Pascal's bad acting.
Right. Yeah. Which is weird because I don't know, man. I don't know. Is he a bad actor? He's got an Oscar. Right?
Does Pascal have one in real life?
I doubt it.
Oh, okay.
I would assume no. I don't think he's been in movie movies, has he?
No. So then
I just don't understand the joke then. Like, are they all bad actors? How were they in $100 million feature film? None of it makes any sense. So you can't just make these one-off jokes that contradict other things. It's just such a mess.
So Beck shows up on projection on the screen on the side of the wall, and then he does a song, and everybody dances.
Yeah. Yep.
Then E.T. comes. Yeah.
There's nothing worthy to say about it. It's stupid.
E.T. comes. They do an interview. Karen and the Snapchat girls get in a fight, and there's a slap. Keegan complains about his philosophical stuff. Snapchat girl gets canceled. Oh, so then the Snapchat girl, Judd's daughter, gets canceled because
Hold on, go back to the ET interview. I thought we were still on that. Another. Well, it's just another thing I want to point out. They introduce another thing that could be a plot.
Yeah.
Where they're like, "Oh, we're gonna shoot 6 and 7 back to back. We're not leaving the bubble." And Karen's like, "What? No, I'm done. I'm leaving." I actually like that. If they're holding them hostage, that's another thing that's interesting to me. Like if they're like, "Hey, you signed the contract. You are here for 6 months. No matter what, we can do whatever we want with you for 6 months." There's something that could be played with. I don't know.
Yeah, there's all things that could being the operative word.
Yeah, you're right about that.
The Snapchat girl gets canceled because when they ran away to London, now we're seeing a party. Of course, that would have happened in 1 second.
Yes.
Wouldn't have waited another 40 minutes in the movie. That's how social
media works. Well, social media is a slow burn, Dan. I don't know if you know this, but she's got, I think, what did they say, like 100 million followers or something ridiculous.
Something. Yeah.
But nobody saw it. Nobody saw it for months.
Months.
It's one of those hidden gems.
Then there's the everybody takes drugs with Pedro Pascal scene.
In a movie that I genuinely hate,
yeah,
this is my least favorite scene.
That's your least favorite scene?
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Doesn't somebody do coke off of the top of Keegan's head? I like that.
Yeah, sure. Let me regroup here. It's not the beginning. It's not them doing the drugs.
Yeah.
It's the way that they decide the drugs affect them, and they do the face swapping.
Oh yeah.
Where he's like, "Oh man, you look like Benedict Cumberbatch right now." It's not. What is that? Is that supposed to be funny to me? It's not funny.
It's hilarious.
He doesn't do anything Cumberbatchy.
Nope.
And it's his real face. Like they definitely brought him in. He doesn't do any jokes. He doesn't do any like self-deprecating humor to make me be like, "Ha, that's really Benedict Cumberbatch saying these things. That's funny." They do nothing. Why is this here? What is happening?
Because they wanted to do a funny drug scene, but they didn't want to actually talk about drugs or act like they were doing drugs that would do
things
something
that are funny. Yeah.
Pascal has problems because then they do a second TikTok, which is kind of crappy.
Well, they're all on drugs. Yeah. Isn't that the bit? So I don't know. It's not done well. I feel like if you're doing a joke where they're all on drugs making a TikTok, you have to go extreme to make that funny, and it's just played blah. Well, like the rest of the movie.
Yeah, like some people are very good in the TikTok, but a couple are not good. Exactly. Right. So Pascal is going to die, and so they have to throw him on ice and save him. And
you're skimming over a lot of stuff. I know you didn't like the movie, Dan, but what we do here is we talk about it. That's what you said at the beginning of this episode. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. So here's the problem with this scene, man.
Tell us what the problem with the scene is. As I've checked out on the movie.
I know.
Checked out. I'm out.
You're just doing a line-to-line summarizing.
That's what you get to.
I'm not going to let you do it, Dan. So my blonde guy, I'm going to look at his name. Harry Trevaldwin. I'm not saying that right. His whole thing now is that he wants Pedro to die.
Oh, really?
Because they're like they're doing chest compressions and they're trying to save him. And he's like, hey, what time is it? 3:23. Time of death, 3:23. And then Keegan's like, we're doing time of death? His chest is still moving. And for some reason, this kid wants Pedro to die. And the rest of the scene, he's just like, or we could just go back and make the rest of the movie now. We leave it. I don't understand why he wants him to die.
Once again, a thing that you could have set up at the beginning.
Right.
He's Pedro's estranged child and wants him to die, or he dated his mother. There's a million things you could have done.
It's just this weird, nice, sarcastic British guy, like all of a sudden just wants to kill this guy off for no reason.
Which leads Karen to give the whole, we'll work together on this. And I thought she was going to say, let's go finish this movie and be done with it. But instead she's like, let's run to freedom.
And then, I think it's supposed to be a joke because they all think what you think.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, no, we were saying yes to finish the movie. And she's like, no, we're leaving.
It's an okay joke. I mean, if this was a movie, it'd be a decent joke.
If everything before it had been done properly, this joke would have landed.
So we do the final battle on the top of the cliff beast, on the top of the mountain versus the cliff beast. They all have guns now somehow, and things are happening. And the big resolve is that we have to shoot them in their glowing penises, and then they'll explode. Yep. And they literally show this glowing dragon penis.
Yep. Which elicits a chuckle from me, but it's not a real joke. So again, the movie inside the movie, Dan, is straight trash.
Well, there's no movie that would do that.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's so unbelievable as a movie that I don't buy anything that's happening anywhere because they're not really A, making a movie, but B, they wouldn't shell out $100 million in a pandemic to make such a piece of shit movie that wouldn't make its money back even if there wasn't a pandemic. No executive is going to read that script and be like, yeah, we need to shoot that right now in the middle of a pandemic where there's no movie theaters and very little chance we're going to get our money back. Let's spend $100 million on something nobody will ever see. It's just not going to happen.
So everybody runs away. The TikTok girl and the mole fight, which we already sort of talked about before.
Yeah.
And don't they do a whole thing where the camera falls down and then is filming it? And then does anything come of that, it being filmed?
Not that I remember, but I thought for sure that was going to be like what saves her social media life, because she's been canceled. But then they see how cool, she can really fight. And then she's famous again. I don't think they did that.
I don't think they did it either. Karen Gillan fights with Professor Xavier for some unknowable reason.
I did laugh when he gets mad because she's like, "Whoa, get your wheelchair," or whatever. And he's like, "I play a lot of characters, not just him." That made me laugh. I was like, because that's got to be his real life, right?
Well, I literally couldn't remember his name, and so I wrote Professor X.
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy. I couldn't think of his name, and then they don't ever say his name. He just says Professor X. I thought she says Professor X. I thought that was very funny.
See, that's good. That's how you're supposed to use a celebrity. Make fun of the celebrity.
And he probably made sure that, because he made sure that was actually
it's
a little
probably
scene.
his joke. Let's be honest. He was probably like, "Oh, we should do this joke. That'll be funny." And then they're like, "Okay, do whatever you want. We don't have any rules here because we're not making a real fucking movie. Do whatever you want."
I think so, because that felt like it felt real. That
Yeah.
scene felt real.
Oh, because you have a real actor making a real joke. So what a shock.
And then Gus shows up again with the bow somehow, and then he shoots an arrow through the security guy's hand into a rubber arm.
Yeah. Oh, like a very obvious rubber arm. Is that I couldn't decide if they wanted us to know it was a fake arm. I don't know. I still don't know because it's so like the way that the guy is moving, it's so obvious that that's a fake arm. I don't know, man.
So they all run to the helicopter, and then Keegan takes it up and says, "They only taught me how to go up and down." And then they watch a video on the YouTube.
Which, with a guy with so much comedic timing, again, that joke doesn't land, and I don't know why.
Because that scene was so long.
Is that what it was? Is that what it is? It was
God,
just too
that
long?
scene was.
Okay.
We were just like sitting there. We go back down to the ground, and Fred picks up a gun and says, "Don't shoot them." He's like, "I'm just going to point it at them." And then we cut back into them, and they look down and they see the gun, and then he sits there, and then we have to like pull up YouTube, and then we have to hold it in front. It's just like,
well, they do the cat video joke first.
We do the cat video joke, which is a funny joke. I mean, it's an okay joke.
Yeah, no, I mean it's fine, but again, like it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't help the other joke land.
Oh yeah, and Annika's in the copter somehow. And she's like, "I've been waiting here for you for 2 hours." Okay,
right.
That was cute. She's so cute. She's so great.
She is. She's wonderful. Not enough to do.
And then 2 years later, we premiere the documentary because there was this weird documentary guy who never landed anything. All of his bits do the thing.
Terrible.
And then the documentary has footage from the actual movie in it. It should have all just been documentary footage. It should have been stuff we hadn't seen. It should be new jokes, but it's all the same garbage that didn't work in the movie.
Correct. Yeah, we're just hitting it again. And there is, again, such a wealth of jokes you can make about BTS. That's what we call it, BTS. It's behind the scenes. Because they are always in the wrong place at the wrong time. They're always getting in your way because they think they're so fucking important. It's like, no, I'm making $100 million budgeted movie here. Get the fuck out of my shoe. Like, it happens all the time. But we're not willing to take that stand in this movie.
Think about if we hadn't hired the stupid guy that does it and we had your little Weasley blonde guy doing that guy.
Oh, my God. Yes.
He would have been hilarious.
He would have been so, yeah. If they let him do bits, if they would have actually let him do it. No. It's, I don't know.
So we get to the one joke I really liked in this movie. They're doing the red carpet for the movie, and Fred Armisen comes up, and they're like, what's your next movie? And he's doing Skittles the movie.
Yeah.
And then he says, that was such a good joke. Skittles the movie. It's perfect. It's a perfect joke.
And then right after that, where you think the movie's going to end, they do the last joke, which was my favorite joke, and it's the blonde guy, and he's like, I thought I was going to get in trouble because I didn't actually send off any of the swabs.
Oh, you like that?
So he never did any real testing on the movie. And I was like, that's funny. That's funny to me. And then they end it, and you think that's the last joke. But instead, Dan, what do they do, Dan?
They have them standing out there and they say the producer and a couple people, and they're like, well, you can't say we didn't try. And then I wrote it down. Oh. We made something that's a distraction in these difficult times.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Not you, Dan.
Fuck
Judd
you.
Apatow. Fuck you.
You did not distract us. You made us angry. You didn't make comedy. It's like, there's a lot of things that have come out of this pandemic. This is garbage.
This is awful. It's so bad. It's so bad. And they end it like they're clearly talking about themselves. And they're like patting themselves on the, jerking each other off there. And it's so infuriating because your movie sucks. 1. 2, it came out 2 years too late.
We're gonna win. Get out of here, Shannon. Her stupid soccer team is winning.
Dan, it's football.
Soccer.
Football.
Soccer.
Football is life.
Soccer.
Yeah, no, it's
yeah, they're
shame on them.
Patting themselves on the back for the good job they did. And it's like,
yeah.
Did you show this to anyone?
No, for sure not. Because you're not allowed to have too many people in a crowded space. So.
Yeah, okay. Oh my God. Like,
yeah, it's the biggest fuck you of all time.
What happens when like you know somebody like Judd Apatow and they show you their movie like this? What do you say to them?
I mean, you have to tell them, oh, it's good. Oh, I liked it. What I would do is I'd be like, oh, that blonde guy's very funny.
Oh, you find the good point.
Yeah, you find the good thing to tell them.
Oh, yeah. David Duchovny's alive. Oh, I learned something.
Is he?
I don't know.
This movie did not convince me of that. Yeah, man, this was brutal. This was a tough ride.
Anything else to say about this movie, Tony?
God, I mean, I probably have a ton of things. I don't think anything else needs to be said. It's not good. The jokes don't land. What little jokes there are. A waste of a solid cast. And I hate you.
I hate you.
I hate everyone.
Judd Apatow, go back to interviewing comedians, not trying to be one. I think I watched that thing where he went off and did stand-up comedy again.
Oh, okay.
It was good.
Was that
years
good?
ago? Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
He took some time off and tried to do stand-up comedy again and worked on it. You know,
sure.
maybe he should take some time off from making movies and get somebody that's funny and he can work on being funny again.
Maybe not. I was going over his filmography to try to understand if I ever liked him.
40-Year-Old Virgin.
I don't like 40-Year-Old Virgin.
I haven't seen it in so long.
Interestingly enough, I'm not a fan of that movie. It's okay.
It's okay.
There's like a couple of jokes that I like, and obviously the waxing scene is very funny, but that's just Steve Carell making it funny. And then the fact that they're really doing it, so everyone's really laughing. Like, that's funny. It is, but the movie itself is like, it's okay. I don't know. And the answer is no.
The answer is no.
The answer is I don't like any of his movies. Like, Funny People is okay.
That's the Adam Sandler one, right?
Adam Sandler, yeah. And it's like emotional and funny, which is nice. I like the balance. 40-Year-Old Virgin is mediocre. Knocked Up, I hate. I think it's one of the most overrated movies of all time.
Never seen it.
You never seen Knocked Up?
No.
I don't see it. The only one I haven't seen The King of Staten Island yet, and I feel like I should give that a watch.
Great movie.
Yeah, I feel like I should watch that.
I recommended it on this thing at one point.
Yeah.
But it's really, it's somebody... he's not necessarily a bad director. He just should not be writing these movies. Because the truth of the matter is he exists in Staten Island and what was Adam Sandler one called? Funny People?
Funny People. Yeah.
They're both dramedies.
Yes.
And he, as a he understands he understands a certain level of humor, but it has to be in like a real life, real stakes. When he's trying to make comedic stakes, he doesn't do it. And when you're doing a movie like this, you're talking about yourself.
You should be. Yeah.
Yeah. And you should be making fun of yourself, making fun of your privilege, making fun of the people that you see. That we say with Tropic Thunder is they crucify everyone in that film.
Yes.
Nobody
they do.
Nobody is like this guy is the good guy, except maybe Jay Baruchel's character, who's like who's a stand-in for us, right?
Yeah.
He's the guy, it's like Jack Black's character is horrible.
Yeah, terrible guy, very funny.
Very funny. And it's one of Jack Black's best roles where he's not just doing Jack Black. Okay, Tony, tell us about something you liked this week.
Well, Dan. So it's been a busy week for us over here.
Busy.
I want to talk about 3 things, 2 quickly, 1 a little bit longer.
Only 3 things, Tony.
Only 3 things.
Are all 3 of them books or potholes?
No, but they're not all movies.
A surprise.
Yeah. Well, the first one, I just want to give a shout out to my man, Doug Ray, who is a musician, he's one of the most underrated musicians ever. I've been obsessed with him since like 2001. He came out with an album in 2018 I didn't even know about, and I just found it, and it's brilliant. And so find Doug Ray or Toothpick or Bad Ronald or Loose Cannons. He's done all of those groups because he just can't find a job that lasts, but he's great. And then the next thing is we watched a wonderful, adorable little show called Heartstopper on Netflix. Very cute little rom-com. I love it. And I just wanted to talk about some positive things before I brought up the last thing.
What's Heartstopper? Who's in it? Anyone? No one?
No. They're all little British kids that I've never.
It's a British show.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they're all British, and it takes place in London, so okay. I guess yes. Would be my guess. It started off, I guess, it was like a little webtoon, and then turned into like a graphic novel, and then turned into a Netflix show. It's cute. We watched The Batman this week as it came out on HBO Max. Have you done it yet, Dan?
I did the first 2 hours.
The fact that you can even say that is shocking to me, but yeah.
Why?
Because you say only the first 2 hours, which usually would mean you're pretty close to the end of the movie, but you got another hour, 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, it's long movie.
Yeah, very long movie. How do you feel about it?
I liked it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, that's fun.
Interesting. Okay, I do not like this movie. That's not true. I find it the most underwhelming movie I've ever seen in my life. It's very slow.
Yeah.
And not just in pacing. Everyone moves slow. Batman walks so slow in this movie, Dan. Why? Why is he walking so slow? I don't understand the choice.
Yeah. I like the look of it.
Oh,
I like him as Batman.
Stunning. Oh, I hate him as Batman.
I like him as Batman. That's not true.
Sorry, continue.
I like him as Batman. I loved her as Catwoman.
She's great.
And I think, are they just doing Batman Year One? Is that what this is?
It's close.
It's pretty close to Batman Year One. Batman Year One. Are they going to do the thing where he gets trapped in the building and they bomb out the building? Do they do that in the third act?
No.
Okay.
Not to spoil too much, but
one of the greatest comic scenes ever in a comic.
Yeah. No, it's kind of like an amalgamation of a couple things, but it's watered down.
I don't know. I thought there was I just thought there was interesting things in it. I thought the look was different. I thought the tone was different. I thought it was closer to Batman. I thought he was more of a detective. I liked the riddles. I liked the Riddler stuff. It just felt different to me, and so I enjoyed it for its difference.
I agree with all of those things, but I agree with all those things. I also really enjoy the score. I think the score is on point, and visually, it's stunning. It's a beautiful movie.
Yeah.
That's Matt Reeves has an eye for something. I don't know, or he got a great cinematographer. I don't know. It's beautiful. So slow. I don't know why everything is so slow. Everyone made fun of Zack Snyder's shit for being in slow motion, but this is not technically slow motion. Everyone is just moving slow. I don't understand it. It frustrated me so much. I also don't understand why he's so loud when he walks. He's like coming out of the shadows and he clanks like a Western movie. That's not Batman's a ninja, guys. Batman should be able to appear behind you. You never hear him.
He's got big boots. He's
got these clanky. I'm coming out of the shadows. Don't run away, guys. It fucking drove me nuts. And I hate this take on Bruce Wayne. Emo Bruce Wayne is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. I hate it. I hate it. I don't mind him as Batman. I think he looks good in the suit, which actually surprised me. I didn't think he was going to.
Look good.
I just can't stand what they did. And it's not his fault. I just want to put that out. I thought I was going to hate Robert Pattinson. I don't hate him. I don't think that he's a good Bruce Wayne.
Well,
but it's not his fault.
I think your point is you don't like this.
The take on Bruce
Wayne.
Because this is not a Bruce Wayne you've ever seen before in the comics ever. This is not Bruce Wayne. You know who this is? This is Nightwing. 100%. You want an emo character in the DC? It's fucking Nightwing. Make him. He looks like Nightwing with the long hair. It's Nightwing, guys. Just give him Dick Grayson. Make him Nightwing. I don't give a shit. This is not Bruce Wayne. But other than that, I mean, I have very mixed feelings. I've watched it twice this week. I have a lot of mixed feelings on it.
Well, I got to finish it up.
Finish it up.
But I mean, she's just like.
Oh, I didn't say it. Zoe Kravitz is bombshell. Unbelievable.
She's just like, she just owns it. And it's so interesting because Batman and Commissioner Gordon are sort of playing this certain sort of thing where
Yeah.
they're always talking like this, and then she just comes on and is like,
that was
"No,
too fast.
no,
Dan, that was too fast. You talk too fast. They're doing something like this for no reason, because it's just them talking. They could talk at a normal space. Sorry, she comes in and
she's just doing her own thing. She's just like talking like normal and like this. Like, I'm not gonna play your game. I'm this character, and I kind of like that. She just kind of comes in and is like, I'm doing my thing.
She's great. She's my favorite part. And then I also really enjoy Colin Farrell.
Who is he? Is he the Penguin?
He's the fucking Penguin.
So weird. So weird.
It's crazy and it's very fun.
And it's different. It's a different Colin Farrell too. Shannon was like, I think that's Colin Farrell. I'm like, what?
Yeah. No. He did. There's a lot of, again, very mixed feelings.
Yeah.
A lot of the highs are high, the lows are low for me. But yeah.
So we just watched 2 hours and we're like, okay, we take a break. We'll finish it up.
Yeah, because it should only be about 15 more minutes. It's bloated. I will say that.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And that car chase scene is like hard to tell what's
too long.
Hard to tell what's going on.
The end of it's great.
Oh yeah, I mean, I like how it's shot, sort of, but at a certain point, you're like, I have no idea what's happening.
Right, because you've done too many turns. There's too many. Like I can't follow you. Just end it. Just end it.
My pick for this week is Outer Range, which is on something. I don't know if it's on Netflix or Amazon.
I don't know,
Prime,
but that's on my list.
What's her name? Amanda Poots? Is that her name?
Sure. Yeah, that sounds right.
Imogen Poots? Imogen Poots.
Yeah, that's it. I
love her. I watched the first episode. I was just like, okay.
Yeah. No, I'm very excited for this. And the gentleman, I forget his name, who plays Patrick on Schitt's Creek is in it, from my understanding, and I adore him.
Yeah. So, I mean, are they going to screw it up? Maybe.
Probably,
who knows?
Yeah,
but
probably.
From episode 1, you're like, okay, this is
all right.
Some stuff going on.
I'm very excited.
So, Tony, I think it's time for you to pick a movie for us to watch next week. Are you going back to the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, the nowses?
Well, I had a question for you because you sent me a DVD to purchase, which I did. Do you want to do that, or do you want that to be your pick?
Oh, no, that's my pick. That's a me.
Okay, well then I will allow it to be your pick, and my pick. Well, the 2022. No, my pick is going to be an epic.
Epic.
Well, I think it was supposed to be an epic.
Is it Troy?
No, but I would say it's close to that, and I have never seen this movie, but I assume it's very similar to Troy. And it's, of course, the remake that everyone was clamoring for.
Meet the Spartans?
Ben-Hur.
Ben-Hur?
Yep, 2016 Ben-Hur.
What is wrong with you?
I need to see this. Why did you remake Ben-Hur?
Have you seen the original?
I've seen the original once. I'll never see it again. I assume it was a masterpiece when it came out. Doesn't hold up because that was like 100 years ago.
It's like a weird religious movie.
Yeah, for sure. But this one's got to be good. This was made in 2016, Dan.
Oh, no, Ben-Hur.
Yeah, you're going to love it.
It's going to be like 3 hours and 40 minutes.
I did not look up a runtime.
Oh, no. Look up a runtime right now, Tony.
Okay, hold on.
I got to know runtime of this before we get off.
Ben-Hur 2016.
Oh, my.
No, you're fine. It's 2 hours, 3 minutes.
No. How do you do Ben-Hur?
It's shorter than The Bubble, Dan. You're going to be fine.
How can you make Ben-Hur shorter?
I think the answer is you can't.
I'm intrigued now. Okay.
There you go.
That's always the reason why we're never going to do Peter Jackson's King Kong is because it's like literally like
9 hours long.
3 hours and 4 minutes or some god-awful amount of time.
Maybe we'll do like a 2-parter where we watch half one week, half the next week.
Not a chance.
No? All right.
Okay, Ben-Hur. Yeah, it's an epic. Maybe we should do a whole sandals and shorts and sandals.
I love this because you're right. I mean, Troy, we could definitely watch Troy.
I don't think maybe I saw Troy. I don't know.
That's the Brad Pitt one, that I'm thinking of.
I think so. I think Troy.
So too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I enjoyed that very much.
Swords and sandals. Ooh, Gladiator. Oh, I hated that movie.
Oh, we should do Gladiator then. People love that movie.
People love that. That was one of those movies you're always like, why do people love this movie? Why?
Are you not entertained?
No,
the answer's kind of not really.
Kind of bored. Ben-Hur. Wow. Starring who knows who. Do you even know who?
It's the reason why I want to see it actually is because this guy, Toby Kebbell, I guess his name is in it. And he was in The Sorcerer's Apprentice, which I adore that movie. I know people don't like it. I adored that movie.
You mean the one with Nicolas Cage?
Nicolas Cage and Jay Baruchel? Yeah, dude.
There's like another person in that movie?
Well, he's kind of one of the bad guys. It's great, dude. Just see it.
I've seen that movie. It's a weird movie.
It's a phenomenal movie. Bite your tongue.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. I love that movie. I don't know why.
So this has been Hate Watching with Dan and Tony. If you like what you see, subscribe, leave us a comment, give us a thumbs up. What is it?
Like, sure, yeah, give a thumbs up. Yeah, like, sure,
comment, and I'm burping. We'll be back next week.
Way to close the show. What a pro, guys! What a pro.
We'll be back next week with some thoughtful comments on the 2016 epic Ben-Hur.
Goodbye, everybody.
Hey, watching with Dan.